We are in the city of dreams here, New York, Randall's Island, the home of the John McEnroe Tennis Academy. And I'm here with the legend himself who's helping to bring tennis to the people here and really spread the sport. John, this was a vision of yours, the Academy. Tell me about how it's going so far.
I think it's going great. Obviously, we want to provide as many opportunities as possible and make the game as accessible as possible. That's been a problem since I was a kid, and it continues to be one. So my goal is to raise as much money with corporations or individuals so that we can give more scholarships to as many kids as we can possibly get. We're doing well so far. We'd like to do better. And in the meantime, we run a great academy. We provide opportunity for kids that live in this area. I mean, listen, plenty of kids can go to Florida or the Boletaries or wherever they choose to go, Chris Everett's, and live and breathe it if the parents think that's what's best for them. Me personally, I don't think I would have succeeded had I been forced to do that. I was lucky enough to be in a situation where my parents preferred for me to be at home. I liked it better that way. I like playing other sports. I think I matured a little bit later, and I think that helped my tennis development. And I think that that's a good way for a lot of parents and kids to look at it, especially nowadays in tennis where you don't peak to a later age and it's tougher to succeed at a high level, especially as a teenager. And so I think it's sort of tailor-made and set up for an academy like mine, and to encourage kids to go to college at least for a couple of years to sort of hone their games, to grow up as a young man or woman and be able to handle the success if and when they have it.
I mean, tennis, it's about the wind and the rain and really the heavy conditions. So how do you play as this outdoor tennis season approaches outdoors?
Well, it's tricky for kids that live in, say, the Northeast or winter conditions because you're playing a lot of time indoors, and then all of a sudden you're outside, and especially down in Florida, they just had a big event in Key Biscayne. It's extremely difficult and windy at times, so you got to play it safer. You got to maybe take less of a big swing, backswing, which is difficult for guys and girls today because they're so used to taking big swings at the ball. So it's interesting to see how the players handle that. I mean, obviously, if it rains at certain locations like clay, green clay, red clay, you can still go out there and play, whereas hard courts, you're stuck, a couple drops, you're done, and grass the same way. So the weather is a bigger factor than people realize in our sport. I was always pushing for an indoor major because I thought that you could see perhaps the best tennis. I think it's tougher for the athletes in general. You can see, obviously, in other sports like football, what an equalizer snow or rain can be, and it's somewhat similar in tennis. I think the best guys want the perfect conditions because then they can do their thing more easily.
And how about the rackets and the balls? I mean, I know the strings get a little messed up and the balls get heavier.
Guys switch strings and rackets so quickly now. I mean, in my day, you might use the same racket the whole match, 3-4 hours, and nowadays you see them pick up a new one every 7-9 games, so that becomes less of an issue.
John McEnroe, thanks for joining us. And where can people find you at your academy and also the Johnny Mac Tennis Project?
Well, they're going to find me here often because I love being here. I love getting out with the kids, and let's keep our hope alive. We got to get those American players back at the top of the sport.
This is the place to do it, New York City, Randall's Island. John, thanks for joining us here.
You got it.
It's a pleasure and honor to be here. I'm Harry Cicma alongside John McEnroe at the John McEnroe Tennis Academy.